And Theo Wilson with African Diaspora News. Now, I have heard it said that Africa only fell because it valued the wrong metal. See, Africa thought that the most powerful, most valuable metal in the world was gold. But Europe understood that the most powerful and valuable metal in the world, that's lead. It was force that caused Africa to fall. It was weapons technology. It was the fact that Europe had perfected the art of killing, and that they mistook a technologically advanced society with an advanced civilization. Them two are not the same things. Europe invested in the means to take the gold, and that's how it ended up rich, and no other reason than that. Now, some people say, nah, bro, that ain't why we fell. The reason why we fell is because of tribalism. We weren't unified. It took advantage of our divisions. I'm like, yeah, that's true, but also, when have you known Europe to actually be unified? Like, for real, for real. Europe has been fighting since before the Dark Ages, since literally the Roman Empire, every sword movie you've ever seen, from Braveheart to Troy, into the age of conquest, and now into the modern era. You got Russia, Ukraine, you got the world wars were actually both European wars, and they called them that, like, during the time period. So it's not that Europe was an advanced civilization, because had they been more advanced, they'd have been more civilized in that respect, right? There wouldn't have been all this bloodshed. There would have been more cleanliness or quality of life. No, Africa had that. Africa had an advanced civilization. But because of the military tech, Europe was a technologically advanced society. And so when they developed the means to project lead, they developed the means to steal the gold, right? Therefore, this only means one thing. Developing military tech in a modern capacity changes the board of power. And that's exactly what Nigeria has done. Oh, yes. They have developed now their own indigenously developed weapons technology for modern warfare. This is very key, because what has happened before is that Nigeria's literally had money in hand, ready to purchase military technology for the West for their own ends, and the West is left them on red. Specifically, do you remember that time when Boko Haram kidnapped all of them young ladies during the Obama administration, and there was this terrorist surge, and Nigeria put down the money with the West to literally buy the military technology that they needed. And the West kept them on hold for 7 years before it got there. So beneath the radar, Nigeria was like, all right, bet, we'll develop our own. According to Business Day Nigeria, Nigeria is ramping up its reliance on domestically produced military technology, particularly drones, as it intensifies the battle against insurgents and bandits. So who's developing this technology inside of Nigeria? It is a group called the EIB Group, and their chairman, Bright Echifu, says that it is very important for Nigeria to just completely, eventually eliminate the supply chain outside of Africa to produce its technological needs. And I mean, just imagine that. Like, you in a fight, and these folks is got you handcuffed, and you know good and damn well you can beat this opponent. So they like, I'm about to just manufacture the key and pick the lock my dang self. And that means a lot, because if you notice, there's been a quiet trade embargo against Africa to stop Africa from being a manufacturer. And this has been global, all over the world, not just European and Western powers, but like dang near everybody. That's shifting now, right? Because essentially what you have happening is that Africa is like, okay, I don't want to just be the place for raw materials. Oh, they love raw materials. We all know about the extractive nature of the relationship capitalism has with the minerals beneath Africa's dirt. But shifting to manufacturing is going to be the thing that raises Africa's quality of life, no matter where you look on the continent, especially the free trade zone is established. We'll go over that in another video. But check out what this says. The EIB Group has developed a suite of tactical drones currently in use by the military, including the Demisa combat drone, a high-powered VTOL fixed-wing UAV equipped with long-range surveillance, real-time communications, and precision targeting systems. And so here's what I find interesting about this. This advancement in technological capability is not happening in a legislative vacuum. What's happening right now is that the Nigerian government is getting involved in making sure that funds and personnel are being released to actually develop this and make it leapfrog even further. Listen to what they say. The EIB chairman credited recent federal government policies that prioritize indigenous firms for defense procurement contracts. There are policies to assist indigenous companies. The federal government has made it mandatory. Before you start looking outside, look inwards, he explained. He noted that while EIB is not yet manufacturing aircraft, local aeronautical engineers now service all military planes domestically, a significant shift from previous years when such repairs were handled abroad. Keywords, not yet. But it's coming, because as Africa begins to invest in the technology to actually develop its raw resources that everybody in the world takes advantage of, that we could see another shift like we see in the Sahel Alliance, where you got Africans fully manufacturing things within their country and elevating their quality of life without nobody's permission. Here's what I like. Here's what I really, really like. Those of us who have like a black nationalist leaning know that we tried to build a black nation here in America, and from the burning of Black Wall Street, before that, after that, move bombing, you name it, it has been met with the full brunt force of the United States military and intelligence apparatus. But if we had, I don't know, hypothetically, like a place in Black America that was doing this, right? Who was manufacturing technology and was servicing and repairing things, bringing things out of the ground, manufacturing the whole nine, we'd be like, man, let me join that, right? What if they was Anglophonic, speaking English, just like us? What if there was a place where it was a majority Black? We would want to join up with them. So my question is, what's the problem in Black folks looking at this in America, seeing Nigeria and be like, yo, I want to be a part of that in some way, shape, or form? After all, we live in a global economy. We need to start thinking globally, because that's how the power players are thinking regardless. So there is room for that. And always remember, anti-Blackness is a global phenomenon. Therefore, any place in the world where Black folks are taking up not only arms, but taking up accountability for creating and producing for themselves, any connection to that lifts us all. That's my thoughts on it. Tell me what your thoughts on Nigeria's military leap forward in the comments section. My name is Theo Wilson with African Diaspora News. Please follow my individual YouTube channel at Theo Cyrus Rising. And for the love of everything that you consider holy, download the app, y'all. Download the app, 31 cents a day, $9.99 a month. You can't afford not to buy it. And also keep in mind that since they're censoring all of us, they are trying to put the lockdown on free speech. But when we own our own, we get to say what we want. So go ahead and invest in that, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace, peace.